Hey, Grand Rising, everybody. Thanks for jumping on. This is going to be a quick one today. So do me a favor, guys, is to jump on, drop that city and state, like the video and share the video. If you're going to hang out, that's going to be very much appreciated. We're coming in from Columbia, South Carolina with a blank spot. We're going to be talking about sublimation today. So I did a video yesterday, actually last night, talking about sublimation and how people really don't understand the concept and the idea of sublimation and what goes on. If you are a crafter, you're going to kind of understand what I'm talking about if you've ever done sublimation or decided to try sublimation. If you're not and you're new to sublimation and you're saying, hey, I've been thinking about trying it, but I've heard so many mixed things about it, then, that's what we're going to talk about. So I didn't finish my shirts last night. I'm going to do the fronts today. So that's why I'm back today. But last night, I'll show you some of the outcome of the back on last night. That's how some of these came out. So all of them came out really well. There was no ghosting, there was no blow out, there was no running or anything like that. So we had some good vibes last night. But today I'm going to talk to you about sublimation and why people think sublimation is so limited. So if you are on TikTok, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or Facebook, make sure you guys drop your city and state, like the video, share the video. Also cross-like our platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is The Blanks Spot. If you guys want to go and check out our website, you guys can check out our website as well, theblanksspot.com. Thank you, Tallahassee. I appreciate it. So we're going to be talking about sublimation, why it's so limited, or at least why people think it's limited. If it's your first time here, type a number 1 in the comments. If it's your first time on our live, type a number 1 in the comments. All right, I'm going to go through a little bit about what we're doing, why I'm doing what I'm doing, what sublimation is, and how it can benefit you. So if you have never done sublimation before, this is going to be something different for you. Most people start off with HTV, that's vinyl. They start off with a Cricut. They start off maybe iron-on stuff like that, very simple. And the thing that I try to get people to understand on our lives is that when we talk about sublimation is different. It's a very different process from any other process. And if you can learn how to do sublimation successfully, then you can do any printing process, any t-shirt printing process. Here's the problem. I need y'all to get those likes up, guys. Before I get any further, get those likes up. Make sure that you're on, if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, make sure you guys like and share the video. So I need y'all to like that before I start talking to you about this. All right, please and thank you. So this is free video content, guys, and we are business owners, so we're not crafters. It may seem like we're crafting, but we're not. But we are business owners, and our goal is to get you guys to our website so we can convert you to become a customer. That's the goal. That's the idea. All right. I'm right out the bat. The idea is to get you to understand that, hey, listen, I'm not here to convince you, but I'm here to explain to you and educate, hopefully, some people that can hopefully understand what sublimation is and how it can benefit them. All right. So now, sublimation is one of the hardest t-shirt pressing processes that are out there, I think. One of the biggest problems is that people buy equipment for home use and they try to use it in an industrial manner. That's going to go over some people's heads right now. You probably tell me, what do I mean? It's really quite simple. People will buy a small desktop printer for sublimation. It's not used for sublimation. They will convert it. Okay. They'll convert it. Now, I'm not trying to call anybody out. They'll convert that printer to sublimation. And then they talk about all the issues that they're having and all the concerns that they're having because that printer, that particular piece of equipment is not intended to do what it is that you bought that machine to do. Now, if you're just crafting, that's no issue. If you're just crafting, no problem. Okay. But most crafters, or not most, a lot of crafters end up turning into side hustlers. And then the side hustlers end up trying to start a business. And now you're using the same equipment that you started out with. and you're wondering why you're not getting the results that you see someone like us getting. I want y'all to take a look at that printer back here. I don't know if you can see the other one as well. We have two sublimation printers side by side. And I'm not saying that you have to go out and get a big sublimation printer like this, but these are actual sublimation printers. These are considered to be industrial pieces of equipment. You're not going to be able to do with your home desktop sublimation printer that you converted to sublimation what we can do with these. The colors are going to be different. Our print heads are not going to clog like yours are going to clog. You're going to have different variations of colors during different times. You're going to have some issues with printing and streaking and things like that. And I'm not wishing any bad or ill will on you, but those are the things that happens. You can't avoid it because those printers that you're using that are not sublimation printers are not made to handle the jobs that you're trying to do, that a lot of y'all are trying to do. If you're just crafting and you're just messing around and having some fun and doing some stuff for your family, no biggie, okay? But if you are actually trying to do this for a business, if you're wanting to make money, if you want to turn your crafting into a business, then you're going to have to consider upgrading, okay? Going to have to consider upgrading. You say your inkjet printer is currently doing that? I'm sorry to hear that. Here's the thing. Sublimation is a science. It's a science, guys. All right. And thank y'all for jumping on. I appreciate it. Sublimation is a science. And once we understand the scientific portion of sublimation, we can move on towards saying, hey, sublimation is not limited, but it can be limited to doing garments. Okay. So the topic is, why is sublimation so limited? Well, maybe it's so limited because of what you're wanting to do with sublimation. A lot of people don't think about that. Once again, if you're only wanting to do garments, if you're only doing t-shirts, which sublimation is about more than t-shirts, but if you're only wanting to do t-shirts, then yes, sublimation is going to seem limited. However, if you extend yourself past different things, signs, this is sublimation. Did y'all know that? Type of number 2, guys, if you knew that this was sublimation, if you guys caught that, if you paid attention. This is sublimation. This is a metal sign. It's similar to the size of a license tag, but it doesn't have the holes in it. And this is actual sublimation. I'm going to hold this a little bit closer so you can see the detail. And this is so detailed that you can actually hit that QR code. You can take a screenshot and it'll go right to the website. So sublimation is not limited. It's limited to the things that you want to do. Oftentimes you hear people that make things, I hate to say crafters, but it is what it is. Oftentimes you hear people that make things, they say, well, my customers don't like white shirts. My customers don't like polyester. My customers prefer this over that. And I get it. You want to be able to give your customers what you want. You can call us makers. Okay, I'll call you a maker. Now it's going to take a little time for me to get that in my mind because I deal with a lot of crafters. So I'll consider makers. I think makers sounds better. I think makers have unrealistic expectations about what is supposed to be and how things are supposed to come out. That's my opinion on it. A maker who's making things for their family, their friends, relatives, loved ones, a maker is going to look at it like, hey, you know what? I should be able to do exactly what I want to do with my garments. And sublimation just does not allow me to do that. Well, there's lots of things that you can do with sublimation that a lot of makers don't know. I'm going to repeat that because repetition is the father of learning. And the more I say it, the more it'll come, naturally. Okay. So I appreciate that. Makers. I like that. So sublimation is a science. And there's seven things that's going to, thank you, I appreciate it. There's 7 things that's going to help your sublimation project look better. One thing is your printer. If you don't have a sublimation printer, there's a possibility that one, your prints, your colors are not going to come out correctly. Well, let me stop with the possibility. I'm kind of I'm kind of soft stepping it right now. Your colors are going to be different. Bottom line up front. Your colors are going to be different. Not only are your colors going to be different, but sometimes you may have ink splatter all over your transfer because you're printing in the wrong setting. See, we have to manually adjust our settings on our sublimation printer if we want more ink to come out of our printer onto the paper. However, it's not necessary because it's already natural. The profile is already built in, so we don't have to adjust anything. But on a converted printer, you have to adjust. So that's something that you need to think about. One of the things that you have to consider is that if you have a printer that is not a sublimation printer, your colors will be different. So your printer does matter. A lot of people won't tell you this because they want to sell you what they want to sell you. But I'm an advocate of telling the truth. Your sublimation paper matters. Sublimation paper matters. Grand Rising, Jessica, thanks for jumping on. Do me a favor, drop your city and state if you haven't done so. Like the video, share the video, and also follow and subscribe on our YouTube and our Facebook. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. People will sell you a product and they will say that it's popular and you should buy it. But I'm going to share something else with you. How many of you currently use this paper? How many of you currently use this paper? Y'all probably saying they're going to come after me. Okay. You're using this paper because somebody told you that this was a good paper. But before I go any further, have you guys tried any other papers? For those of you who use this paper, have you tried any other papers? You have. So, y'all know why that paper's on the floor? That paper's on the floor because it's garbage. Your paper matters. Say, well, how dare you talk about A sub paper like that? If you have not tried any other paper, then how do you know that that's the best paper to use? Number one. Number two, if you're using that paper, do you also use butcher paper to cover your transfer? I would love to get a lot of interaction, guys. Yes. Hey, Princess, how you doing? So, I'm going to show y'all something. I want y'all to pay attention. Do y'all see this transfer? Y'all see this t-shirt? Y'all see me putting butcher paper on this? Did y'all notice that? I'm not using butcher paper on this. Did y'all notice that? Anybody catch that? Oh my God, no butcher paper. Read this, honey. The bleed-free sublimation paper. See, I don't have to worry about my ink bleeding to the top using this paper. Why? Because we've taken the time to construct a paper that doesn't need or doesn't require you to spend extra money. Right? So if you pay for a paper and you say, I saved money, are you actually saving money if you have to use this every time? Yes, it does come in 11 by 17. So what I want you guys to do, go back to the website, or you can go to the link in the description. What's going on, Stevie? How you doing? Rashida says, yes. Go to the link in the description. You can go straight to our paper. 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14, 11 by 17, and 13 by 19. We also have paper roll. Once you understand that your printer matters and your paper matters, we could talk about a lot of different things. Your ink also matters. Once you understand that, and once you see that you're going to have a great ink release, and I don't have this turned up. This is at 386, and I did this for 55 seconds. Now what happens is you then begin to understand why your products matter. See, sublimation is not working for a lot of makers because a lot of makers are not doing the research to get better products. Which ink is better? So of course, you know, you're on a platform that we're going to be selling paper, we're going to be selling ink. So we also carry our own sublimation ink. Ink does matter. You want a vibrant ink? Check us out. Okay. We also carry ink and paper bundles. Do you not consider that a lot of ink left on the paper? That's not a lot of ink. The pictures is deceiving. Number one, this is the next thing is I want to talk about. The next thing I want to talk about is your substrate. This is a dry fit shirt. Okay. So I didn't have a lot of pressure. There's not a lot of pressure on this dry fit shirt. I'm trying to alleviate the lines. So if I didn't have a lot of pressure, and you're saying that there's a lot of ink left on our paper, imagine how much ink is left on the other paper. But I get what you're saying. But the images on the screen is going to be very, very deceiving. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and go back with my spiel. Because it's kind of hard to believe. It's kind of hard to believe that somebody just said there's a lot of ink left on that paper. And I know that they're using butcher paper to make the products. Now, your printer matters, your paper matters, your ink matters. Also, your substrate matters. If you're sublimating with different fabrics, different garments, this is a very thin shirt, okay? This is a very extremely thin shirt. This shirt is so thin that if you're not careful, then it can blow straight through this shirt because it is thin, okay? But what I had to do was, once again, the sublimation, I had to adjust the pressure to make sure I didn't put too much pressure on it. I didn't press it for too long, let it gas out. Then I don't have to worry about this image right here blowing through to the front. I don't have to worry about that, all right? So, yeah, it's a win-win, Steve. So, guys, you're just jumping on. We're talking about sublimation. You're talking about sublimation. The paper matters, and the reason why the paper matters is because you're going to get different results from different papers. Sublimation paper, when printed to the sublimation paper, the ink is not supposed to be bright and vibrant. It's not supposed to be. When printing to sublimation paper, it's supposed to have a dull look. If you guys take a look at some of the papers that you guys are using and you're printing, what's going to hurt you is that you're going to look at that image and you're going to see that it's very bright. You're going to get excited because it's bright and vibrant. That's a mirage. That's a facade. That sublimation print is supposed to be dull, and it's not supposed to be bright until you process the sublimation process takes place. Once that sublimation process takes place, that scientific process takes place, that ink's supposed to come off that paper onto that substrate and go into that substrate. So many of you guys are using that paper and you're printing it out. Is giving you the appearance that it's going to be bright and vibrant. Then you do a side by side and it's dull. Unfortunately, no, our ink does not work with Sawgrass. It's formulated for Epson desktop printers. If you want to continue to use your Epson desktop printer, there's no problem. We can improve and enhance your results by using our paper and our ink. That's not a sales tactic. That's the truth. We have people who have done it already. TC out of New Orleans, thanks for jumping on. We are from Baton Rouge. So, guys, if you're just jumping on, do me a favor. Drop that city in their state. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. We are back at it. I am finishing up our shirts for our order. Our customer will have them this evening. The funny thing about it is they're working right around the corner, so I'll be able to walk those right around to them. Okay. They asked for 15. They asked for 15. They asked for 15 dry fit shirts for their softball team. Okay. Asked for 15 dry fit shirts for the softball team. And we're gonna make it happen. Latrice, how you doing out of Bridgeport? We got Liz out of Miami, Florida. You in the bottom, all the way down, huh? So what I'm doing, guys, is I want to share with you some of the myths about sublimation. Sublimation is not limited. It's only limited if you're doing garments. And this is a silver shirt. I don't know if you guys can see that. This is not white. Can y'all see that that's silver? A gray or a silver? And these colors are coming out great. Carlotta out of Lafayette. Hey, what's going on? So when people say, well, you know, you can only do X, Y, and Z, if you want to do a full color image, of course, you're going to need white to get the best results. But you can kind of manipulate this thing if you understand what's going on. What's going on, Dallas? Rick out of Dallas. So what happens is we are convinced by some of the people that we see and follow on social media, because that's what they're selling you. They're saying, hey, you know what? You can only do this with this. You can only do that with that. Grand Rising John, thanks for jumping on. You can only do certain things. And what happens is you believe it. But as a maker who may want to turn into a side hustler or a business owner, you have to go out and do the research for yourself. So if you guys are just jumping on, once again, if you haven't done so, tap in with that city and that state. Type of number 1 if you haven't done so, if you're brand new. If you've been here before, welcome back. We're talking about sublimation. Guys, just so you know, we have our paper that is available. It comes in ink and paper bundles. The ink is formulated for Epson desktop printers, but our paper can be used with any sublimation printer or any printer that's been converted to sublimation. You don't need any ink profiles. It's not necessary. Another thing you want to understand is that if you don't have the ability to print wide format, so you can actually order wholesale sublimation transfers from us as well. All right. We do have wholesale gang sheets. Got huge discounts. That ink is just lifting off the paper, as it should. What happens, guys, when you don't have the right temperature, the right time, and the right pressure, you end up being frustrated. And the frustration sets in, and then what happens is your sublimation printer, or the printer that you're using for sublimation, it ends up sitting on the shelf collecting dust. All the while the nozzles are clogging. All right, the ink heads are clogging, and when you get ready to decide to use it again, what ends up happening? It's already clogged. So now you have a sublimation, converted sublimation paperweight. What I want you to understand is that we can help you to make your project look better. Your projects look better if you only take the time. If you only take the time to do your due diligence, do your research, and understand how you can best get the best results. Now, the reason why I'm putting the paper on the bottom is because the heat is going to reactivate the front. So I want to protect the bottom. But I don't have to protect the top with our paper. Our paper doesn't bleed. Grand Rising, Positive Thinking, thanks for jumping on. Our paper doesn't bleed. We have a bleed-free system over here. And what ends up happening is a lot of people will not switch, make the change, or even try it because they're already sold out. Or they may be thinking, man, you know what? I made this decision. I'm sticking with it. But you're losing money. So someone asked about, do you ever do 60-40 poly cotton poly? No. The lowest one I've done to sell was a 65-35. I want you to understand that the sublimation coming out is going to matter. Well, it matters if the higher the polyester count. I'm sorry, because I'm sleepy, y'all. I've been up all night. The higher the polyester count, the better your project. If you are going for a vintage look, I would say stick with the 65-35. 65% polyester, 35% cotton. Sublimation loves polyester. Sublimation does not like cotton. So when you start saying, hey, I did a cotton poly blend and I sublimated my shirt and I did not get the best results, what you're telling me is that you didn't do your research on sublimation. So I want you guys to go to the website. It's free to go to the website and read a blog. We have a sublimation blog. It talks about printers. It talks about paper, temperature, time. It talks about the different things that you can sublimate. Read that blog. It's free. It's free to read, but you're going to pay a lot of money for things that you don't know. So instead of people just trying to sell you something, let's get a little educated. Let's get a little educated about what we can do with sublimation. Now, I see someone said that their sublimation shirts scorch. Your sublimation shirts are scorching. If your shirts are scorching, that means that you're using too much temperature. And you're using a lot of temperature, most likely, because you're saying that, hey, I got to have a higher temperature so I can get all that color off. I've seen it in groups all the time. I see it in groups all the time, right? I see it in groups all the time. I hear people saying, or read people saying, hey, well, my projects aren't coming out vibrant. Well, they're not coming out vibrant because you're using the wrong paper. And oftentimes we're using the wrong substrates. So those things they matter. So if you got to turn that thing up to 400 degrees, imagine this. I want y'all to think about something. If you actually cook, does anybody cook out there? Type a number 3 in the comments if you know how to cook. It's gonna sound crazy, but I want to use this analogy. Let me get some interaction. If you put a whole chicken in the oven and you turn it up to 400 degrees, the outside is going to cook. The inside is going to be red. Y'all gonna unalive some people with y'all cooking, right? Y'all gonna put somebody in the ground with some of y'all's cooking because you're trying to get it done so fast. It's the same concept. This is an oven. I have this at 386. I don't have to push this to 400 degrees for 60 seconds. Now I'm letting it go past the timer. I'm letting it go past the timer because I want it to gas out because I don't have a lot of pressure. And I don't have a lot of pressure because of the type of shirt that I'm using, because it's a very thin shirt and you know the lines come on there, right? So this is stuff that you're going to have to learn. And you're only going to learn this by doing it. You're only going to learn it by doing it. You're not going to learn it by watching a video. You're going to get introduced to it by watching a video. But you're only going to learn what works best for you by actually doing it. And that's where a lot of makers fall off because nobody really wants to invest that, time. What temperature does the gas release? The gas can release at 70 degrees. It's just going to release slowly. But the optimum time for our paper, we're telling you anywhere between 370 to 385, it's going to give a great release. Once again, though, Kevin, and that's a great question. Once again, it's definitely going to depend on your heat press, because your heat press may not heat up in the same place everywhere. It may not be hot everywhere. Your heat press may not be evenly heating. Is it possible to fix an Epson paperweight? It depends on what's going on with it. It depends on what's going on with it. We do have ink and printer bundles back here. We have printer and ink bundles back here. So if you guys, printer, ink, and paper bundles, if you're interested in buying an actual sublimation printer, it is a small format printer, but most of y'all have small format printers anyway. So if you go to the website and you look for our bundles, you'll see our ink, printer, and paper bundles. It's actual sublimation printer. Once again, though, guys, you got to think about it. So many different variations, so many different questions, so many different things that we can answer. But we first have to understand what sublimation is and how it can benefit you. I would recommend that you actually. So before I answer that question, are you doing sublimation or DTF? Because there's no which one works best. It's which process you're using for the time or the design that you have. That's the other thing that makers have to get out of their minds. Every t-shirt printing process has its purpose. So when you ask me, and this is not to throw anybody out there, but when you ask me what's the difference and which one is best, I think that my time and the questions that you ask can be better, and my time can be used better by doing your own research for questions like that. Asking what's the difference and which one works best, you can actually chat's gonna tell you the same thing I would tell you. Let's talk about sublimation, right? Check yours with the temperature gun. Yeah, you use that laser and you want to check the corners and you want to check the center, because there's a heating element in here, and that heating element can go out. Your press can also warp. And when I say warp, it can actually bend like this. So you can have uneven presses. A lot of people don't know that. I'm going to go fast. Watching from South Africa. Okay, so what I want you to do is go to Google and find out matter of fact, you don't have to go to Google for that. Go read our blog. Our website reaches South Africa. So if you go to our website and right at the top of our website, you'll see our sublimation blog. Okay. You'll see our sublimation blog. From there, what you want to do is read it. Then you can go to ChatGPT or Google or whatever platform you want to search on and find out what the difference between different processes are. All right. I got lazy with my DTL printer. Let me see. I missed somebody. Did I miss somebody? I'll be over sublimation though. I no longer care to be subjected to using only white blanks. So Toya, this live isn't for you because you may have missed it. So what's happening right now, guys, is people are just coming in and saying stuff. Drop your city and state, introduce yourself, let us know where you're tuning in from. And what I'm talking about is this. If you're only using sublimation for garments, it is going to be limited. But in my opinion, as a maker, and I'm not a maker, but as a maker, in my opinion, your creativity is limited. I have neon shirts, safety green, safety orange shirts that we're sublimating on. Now, you can't do full color on a colored shirt and get a full color result. You can't do that. So you're absolutely right. But here's the thing. Let's say you come across a customer. Let's say you come across a customer and your customer has a lawn care service and they want neon green or safety orange shirts. You can put a solid black, thank you, Trini. You can put a solid black lettering on that. You can put a solid black graphic on that. And it saves you a lot of money. What's happening is we're thinking full color. We're thinking black or blues or reds as a background. You're losing out. And I'm not trying to convince you. I'm not a great convincer anyway. I will never try to convince you to do something that you don't want to do. As a matter of fact, watch this. I'm going to say this again. How many people type a number 3 in the comments? I'm going to say this again. Type a number 3 in the comments. Type a number 3 in the comments. If you use butcher paper with your sublimation paper. If you use butcher paper with your current sublimation paper, type a number 3 in the comments. I'm going to show you that I'm not here to convince you. Because some of you guys are here for the umpteenth time. This is not your first time hearing me talk about the bleed-free sublimation paper. I got a whole block from Sam's. So that means that if you're using, once again, I'm not here to convince you, but if you're using butcher paper to protect your heat press, and I told you that I'm not here to convince you, but there's an option to where you don't have to use butcher paper, then why haven't you tried our paper? There's a reason why you don't try something new. Because human nature and humans, we have trust issues. We have trust issues, right? Yeah, this is silver, Tamara. This is silver. We have trust issues. Anyone that comes on social media, you got to watch them several times. See, we're scared. We're scared to try something that I'm showing you right here, that I'm not using butcher paper, and that my transfers are not bleeding. I'm not getting any bleed on my heat press, not getting bleed on my substrates. You're not seeing everything blow back out like if it was Is Sub paper. So I'm showing you, but still, you're going to continue to use that paper because you trust butcher paper, right? Yes, this is our paper brand. This is our business. Just like every other company that's on social media has a business that's advertising. This is our business, right? That's it. So we're going to advertise. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're going to advertise our products. We're going to advertise our products. But it's pretty funny that we have, watch this. No butcher paper. No butcher paper. But here's the deal. Many of you are going to continue to use this. Many of you are going to continue to use this because now it's a matter of I made a decision. And if I go back on my decision, then I made a bad decision. How many times have you made a bad decision? Will you stay in a bad relationship because you made a bad decision? Will you keep a bad friendship because they're doing bad things because you made a bad decision? Will you keep going back and forth with somebody because it's a bad decision? No. We'll cut it off. This is no different. It really is. And I think I missed the question. No, this is not DTF. This is a full color screen print transfer. It's full color screen print transfer. Thanks for the gift. Once again, sublimation requires the best or the proper or the correct product. To get your best outcome for sublimation, your printer matters, your paper matters, your ink matters, your substrate matters, then your temperature, your time, and your pressure matters. We do have 11 by 17, guys. We got all 4 sizes. And we have paper rolls. What is under the shirt? What's under the shirt is butcher paper. The reason why I have butcher paper underneath the shirt is because there's an image under the shirt. And every time I put this garment back underneath the press, it reactivates the ink. So that's a different use for this. Remember, this is already sublimated. I'm doing 2 sides. So once I hit this, it's going to activate. It activated. So I don't want the ink to get here because I'm using this for other things. So no, it's not so it won't bleed through. It's so that the back won't get sublimated on this. So it's a difference between bleeding through, blowing back, and so that's why. So bleeding through means I'm gonna share this with y'all too. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? I didn't put any paper inside of here. Appreciate it, Trini. EMG, EMG, appreciate it. So bleeding through means that I had to put something in between here because the shirt is so thin that it would blow through, right? It'll blow through. I didn't even have to do that. Do y'all know why? Not because I'm perfect. I'm not even close. I didn't have to do that because I adjusted my pressure. And I tested it first with another shirt, same type, right? But I adjusted my pressure and it's not heavy pressure. I don't have a lot of heat on this. This is only at 384. It's at 384. So now, yep, pressure and temperature, absolutely. So once again, TTP, temperature, time, pressure, it matters. That's why people tap out on sublimation. They say it's because you can only do white shirts. But the truth is, a lot of folks are frustrated because sublimation is not as easy as just pressing a garment onto a shirt. That's why. And that's very frustrating. That's very frustrating when you're going through products. When you're going through products, it's very frustrating. So what I want y'all to do, right, is I want y'all to go to the website. Here's a deal that we have for you, okay? We've extended this deal. Here's the thing. We have other things on our website other than just sublimation paper. We have our own sublimation shirts, which are 100% cotton with a polyester feel. 100% polyester with a cotton feel, excuse me. We have our own paper, our own ink. We have some substrates that are still available. We have screen print transfers. We have sublimation transfers. We have rhinestones. Today, our rhinestones are buy one, get one half off. No minimum. Bottom line is this. If you make a purchase of just $20, doesn't matter what you buy, we're going to throw you in 20 free sheets of our 8.5 by 11 paper. That's it. 20 free sheets. So you don't have to just buy the paper. You can buy something else that you know you can use, and then you're going to get the paper for free. Before taxes, $20 before taxes, you're going to get 20 free sheets. So that's going to tell you how you can use the paper, okay? Let's see. I used to do vinyl. That was stick and move. Sublimation got to be on point. Absolutely. You got to be on point. And folks, the thing of it is, we're quick to say, people are quick to say that my customer doesn't like something. But let's be clear. Not all customers know what they want. Yes, BOGO ho. Buy one, get one half off. We're in maintenance mode, Carlotta. We're in maintenance mode, so we're not doing that right now. We're making another transition, another switch. So what happens is most people are fed up. Most people are fed up because they don't understand how sublimation works. And I hate it, man. I hate that you guys are shorting yourselves, because what's happening is you've gotten into some of these groups that are telling you all these different hacks that you can use. They're telling you all these different things that you can use, but they're not explaining what sublimation is. So we have a blog. I said this before and I'll say it again. You can go to our website and read the blog for free. It talks about sublimation. It talks about the printer, the ink, the paper, the substrate, the temperature, the time, and the pressure. Those 7 things are going to make your sublimation project pop. However, if you're sold out on what you've chosen, the choice that you've made, then I can't help you. I'm not here to convince you. He isn't even using tape. You're right. So we do sell sublimation tape as well. Let me see. I hate sublimation because it only can go on polyester. See, LaTanya, I shouldn't even read your comment. Did you drop your city and state? Did you introduce yourself? Did you say, hey, we didn't wake up together? Come on now, give me something. I know you probably, you better than that. Drop that city and state. Let me know you're tuning in from. If you can use sublimation, South Carolina, appreciate it. If you can use, I should have known. If you could use sublimation to make money, would you hate sublimation? I love it, man. I love it. And guess what? This was white. I mean, I don't understand. And I'm not here to try to understand the logic of some people. But yeah, there's so many different things that you can sub on. Lots of different things. Once again, it goes back to what someone said a while back. They said that the t-shirt industry is so, man, I hate using that word. I really do. But they said something about the t-shirt industry. Ben, it's too many people in the t-shirt. I'm not going to say the word. They said there's too many people in the t-shirt industry, right? So we sell, please don't do that. We sell sublimation shirts. Just like All Day and Jiffy is a company, we sell shirts as well. So it's hard to find something that now you're good. It's hard to find something that you're not looking for. And if you're in South Carolina and we're in Columbia and you do a quick Google search, we'll come up. So we sell sublimation shirts. You can go to the website. They're going to be compatible. They're going to be compatible to All Day and Jiffy. Absolutely. You're welcome. Absolutely. And they won't be the thin shirts. Thanks for the gift. They won't be compatible. They will be compatible price-wise, but they won't be compatible quality-wise. Yeah. Everybody wants to know, and I love this, guys. I love this. Y'all know the link is in the description up there, right? The link's up there. That's like comparing apples and oranges. Absolutely. Y'all know the link's up there, right? Nobody wants to get off the live. Boy, TikTok is making us real comfortable. Y'all know that YouTube, Facebook, TikTok making people real comfortable. Check this out, man. What I learned is this. Most makers don't want to change the way they're doing things because they feel like if I change, then I made a bad decision. I'm messed up. There's nothing wrong with trying new things. Okay, nothing wrong with trying new things. I have a sublimation sheen and never use it because I can't find no polyester shirts. Did y'all hear what I just read? Did y'all hear that? Y'all hear what I just read? Did y'all hear what I just read? This young lady said, I can't find no polyester shirts. Really? Now you can because I told you. I'm with you. I'm with you when you're right. But it's funny though, man. We make a lot of concessions. We make a lot of concessions for ourselves. Thank you, Jessica. We have them too. See, that's the one thing I don't really care for TikTok. Now we have people that's coming in, they're not speaking and they're just blurting things out. But we are on Amazon too, so you'll find our shirts on Amazon as well. Yeah, you'll find our shirts on Amazon. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate it. You know we are a business, right? So for everybody on here, just so you guys know, so I'm gonna give you guys a heads up. We're not out here side hustling. You good, Jessica? Drop that city and state though. We're gonna be together. We're gonna be together. I want you to drop that city and state. Don't leave, Jessica. I need you here. I need you here for the algorithm. Drop that city and state, honey. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We're coming in out of Columbia, South Carolina. I'm not mad at you. We're just gonna point it out. Then we're gonna keep on moving. We're not even gonna harp on it. But we are on Amazon as well. So you can get our shirts and 2-packs on Amazon if y'all want to go that route. I'm cool with it. As long as it comes back to us, right? So TBS Bucks, you found it. That's what I'm talking about. So now, check this out, man. I usually don't do this, but my name is Eric. This is the Blank Spot. We're a Sublimation Blanks t-shirt transfer, adhesive vinyl and banner supplier. We're located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. If you're local, we do not allow you to pick up. Okay, apologize, but that's our process. But we do ship. Okay. The other thing I want you to understand is that there are lots of things that you can do with sublimation that a lot of people are not taking advantage of because you are defeated. I want to revive you. Allow us to revive you and get your confidence back in sublimation. Now, you will find that if you continue to follow us, if you continue to watch us, you will find that we're not here to sell you something. Yes, it really is about staying in business. But if we can make you a customer by giving you a great product and a great service, then we will do that. We're not here to sell you something. We're here to offer you a great quality product. Okay. With that being said, there are a lot of people who have lost confidence in sublimation. And it is because you started off incorrectly. Sublimation is an ink dye process. It's a science. And it's a great opportunity for people to be able to do different things. This is sublimation. Imagine being able to sell these signs to other makers, other business owners, other individuals. This is not a shirt. This is not a garment. Imagine being able to create a graduation stole for graduation or a center print graduation shirt. or coming to connect with us on our custom website and hooking up with us and getting some 3D sublimation shirts, all over shirts for graduation at a business-to-business rate. Imagine that. Imagine being able to offer something through outsourcing. See, what happens is makers, and I don't know who said that, but I'm glad you said it. Makers want to make everything themselves. I mean, why else would you call yourself a maker, right? Why else would you call yourself a maker? You want to make everything yourself. And even if you're not a business owner, as a maker, you can still outsource and get the job done and get paid for work that you didn't do. Even as a maker. Even as a maker. So the problem now becomes that I didn't do it, so it really didn't come from me. But the makers have to make up their mind whether they want to make money or they just want to make things. That's another conversation for another time. What you think about that, Stevie, Tamara? The makers have to make up their mind whether they just want to make things or they want to make some money. Because there's lots of businesses out here just like us who you can actually outsource services and still get paid for them. I led off in the beginning of the live talking about people are buying equipment. People are buying equipment. And they're trying to use the home style or home-based equipment for industrial use. Right? People are trying to use their desktop converted printers. I think I said it out of order. They're converted desktop printers, and they're trying to do mass production. I want y'all to hear something. Not only is that printer not made for sublimation, but that printer ain't made for that type of work. That's like pulling a semi-trailer with a Toyota, a little bitty Toyota, a little Yugo. You're going to burn out that engine, and that's what's happening. You guys are burning out the engine, and then you're saying, hey, you know what? It doesn't work. No, you're trying to make it do something it ain't supposed to do. No, we don't sell these signs. These signs are not available on our site. And what happens is you're frustrated, you're disgusted, and you're mad. So we have an Epson 15,000 as well. We don't use it for sublimation though. You know that's a photo printer, right? How long have you had your Epson? Your 15,000? In my dollar bill voice, money, yeah, money. Yeah. But how long you had that 15,000? For years. Okay. So if I read correctly, if I scroll back, weren't you the one that said that you done away with sublimation? Is that right? I don't want to put you out there, but I just want to make sure. Since 2021? Okay. Are you still doing sublimation today? Or are you still taking a break? You got to buy your daughter another printer? Hey, well, I'm just saying. Thank you for your knowledge. I have to head out. Thank you. I appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure you follow and share. Make sure you go to our YouTube, which is the blank spot, and our Facebook as well, which is the blank spot, guys. An Epson 15,000 is not a bad printer. Do you know why people are using 15,000s? That's why. C. Baron, you said it. You said you bought an Epson when my Sawgrass got too expensive for ink. I couldn't afford it. That's why people are doing that. People are buying these printers because they're more cost effective. And somebody on YouTube showed you that you can use this for that process. But what they did not explain to you that the colors were going to be different. They didn't tell you that the ink was not made, that the print heads were not made to handle that ink. And they also didn't tell you that if you didn't print a lot, if you didn't print often, that you were going to have some problems. You bought it for the wide format. Absolutely. So you bought it because you wanted access. I heard the brother's pretty good printer. You bought it. You bought that printer because as a maker, you wanted access. Let's just be honest, man. Call it what it is. Because there's too many business owners out there. We sell wholesale sublimation transfers and gang sheets. And a lot of people don't see the benefit in buying transfers that they feel like they can make themselves. I'm just going to keep on apologizing, man. I'm just sorry. I apologize. That's what's happening. People want access. Makers want access. So you buy gang sheets, that's what's up. I would tell you this. If you can save your printer from the hard, heavy printing and purchase the gang sheets, it's going to make your printer last longer. That's the truth. It gives your printer longevity. But I've seen people, watch this, y'all. I've seen people, and I'm only doing 15 shirts, and I did it front and back, so that's 30 prints. Now, that's 30 prints. That's not to count some of the prints that may come out messed up because, you know, it's a machine. It will happen. That's not to mention some of the shirts that we may mess up. So let's say out of the 30 prints that I printed, let's say I had to print 40, right? Now, imagine printing 40 transfers on a desktop printer. On a machine, right? That's not made to do what you having it to do. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine how mad your printer is at you right now. Because it's wondering what's going on. Your printer's trying to figure out what's going on because you're printing 30 to 40 transfers. And you're mad because it's going slow because it's not meant to, you know, do that, right? Appreciate you, LaTanya. Yeah, we've been here in Columbia. We've been here in Columbia, or just outside of Columbia, doing this for it'll be 5 years this year. But I want y'all to think about that. Imagine putting that type of load on a desktop printer that's really only made to print high quality photos, or that's meant to print just regular images, regular sheets, right? Imagine that. And then you're telling that printer that I'm going to pour some ink inside. I'm going to pour some ink inside, and I'm going to make your print heads push out some ink that's not formulated for that print head. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine putting diesel in a gasoline vehicle or gasoline in a diesel vehicle. Imagine that. That's what a lot of y'all are doing. So we're located in Casey, just across the bridge. We do not offer pickup, Lady T. We do not offer pickup. However, we do ship. So unfortunately, hopefully that doesn't stop you from shopping with us, but we do not have that service anymore. We don't have that service anymore. So what we're doing is we're forcing a machine to do something that is not naturally meant to do. And then when we don't get the results that we want, instead of trying to find out the correct way, the best way, or a better way to do it, we get mad and we quit. And then we start calling it names and we talk about it. And we start saying that sublimation is not good. And we start saying words like limited when we're uneducated about it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Tam. Be sure to use UPS for shipping. Absolutely. Let me see. We got Olinda. How you doing? What do you think about the Epson F170 sublimation printer? Is it worth the investment? I would say so. I would say yes. So, Olinda, if you're interested, not trying to force you, we do have sublimation printer bundles, and it is the 170. Okay. So you can go to our website. You can check out what's new, or you can check out the starter bundles on the front, on the top page, and you'll see that printer ink and paper bundle, see what everything that comes with it, and you can let me know if it's something that you're interested in. We like you to shop with us. Let me see if I send images to you. Will you make them so I can? Yeah. So we have a gang sheet, Lady T. I don't know if you're just jumping on. Drop your city and state. Let me know where you're tuning in from, please. Thank you. So we do offer gang sheets. We do offer sublimation gang sheets. We have, I think, 5, 6 different gang sheets. You're in Newberry. Okay, I know some people in Newberry. We have some customers there. So we do offer gang sheets, okay? So you can go directly to the website. You can scroll down till you see my wife, little AI picture. She's going to be holding up a gang sheet just like this, right? Click on that, and from there, you choose your gang sheet. Actually, you select that. It's going to tell you to agree to everything. Once you agree, you're going to upload your image, choose your gang sheet, all that good stuff, and then you're in there, all right? How much is the gang sheet? It's on the website. We have different gang sheet sizes. Grand Rising, lovely. Thanks for jumping on. Hey, Nikki, how you doing out of Seattle? No, we don't offer DTF gang sheets just yet. You're welcome. And listen, guys, we're looking forward to doing business with you. That's why we're here. I'm not here to sell you. I'm not here to sell you a bridge in Brooklyn. As a business owner, it's our responsibility to talk about our products and our services that we offer. And we're here looking for customers. We're here looking for customers, for one, who may be disappointed in their current vendor, or someone who may want to try something different. Once again, we want to revive you. We want to actually give you something to think about. If you are sublimating, we want to give you something to think about and say, hey, you know what? I didn't think about that. I want to try this again. Well, congratulations. So I don't know if you guys are just jumping on. If you know what we do, we are vendors / suppliers. A lot of people confuse us for crafting, or should I say makers. What other shirts can you sub on? Polyester. I mean, what other shirts do you want to sub on, honey? So once again, I got to encourage you. And that's a great question. But I have to encourage you to go to the website to read the blog. You got to go read the blog, because if you don't read the blog, you won't understand what sublimation is, okay? So sublimation is going to work best on polyester. The higher the polyester count, the better. And then it's going to work better if it's doing full color. It's going to work better with a white or light color. This is not white. This is silver, but it works just fine. You can say the price. You can say the price. I don't have a problem with it. I don't know. We have different gang sheet sizes. So I can't tell you what the prices are, because I'll miss. I think we got like 5 or 6 different gang sheets. So I don't know every individual price. I know we do have 13 by 40, and this is for you now, Lady T. 13 by 40 inch gang sheet. We have a you want them to go look? I do too. 13 by 40 inch. We have a 24 by 24, 24 by 40. I'm saying it wrong already. A 24 by 60, 40 by 60, 40, 24 by 60, 44 by 60. I think we got a 24 by 120. So to you, Lady T, the amount of transfers is going to depend on the size of the image. Okay, so you got to actually upload it. So once you put that image in there, you size it, you can put how many you want on it. You working with me now? I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You know the struggle. You know the struggle. And then, I don't want to repeat something that's wrong. Because if I say something that's wrong, then what happens is you get held to it. Somebody's out there looking for a reason. So Designs That Speak, Grand Rising. Thanks for jumping on. Darlene, how you doing? Thank you for jumping on. All right. I'm just about done with these shirts, and I will be happy because I can move on to our next project. I got to actually process some orders from our website. I appreciate everybody who's coming on and chiming in and interacting. It's pretty cool. We look forward to packing y'all's order. I want y'all to understand again, if you place a minimum order of $20 before taxes, we're going to give you free sublimation paper. 23 sheets. Okay? 23 sheets. The website is in the link in the description, just so you guys know. Unfortunately, this isn't a TikTok shop, so you can't just sit back and click, but all of our information is in the link tree, okay? All the information in the link tree. So y'all more than welcome to take a screenshot, but all the information is in the link tree. It's on all of our platforms. You'll see all of our business information, how to contact us, email us, call us, all that stuff. All right? Can't print a shirt upside down. It's easy. All you got to do is keep burning yourself. If you've never uploaded a gang sheet before, Eric and D did a video. Yep. So we did a video, but we got to do an updated video because we got new software. We got a new gang sheet. So we got a new option on there. We have it to where now it can actually automatically do it. You put that picture in there and you size it, and if it's just one picture. So for example, let's say you got one picture to do, and the picture is whatever the size is. Maybe it's a tumbler wrap size. You got one picture to do, but you want to do that picture over and over again. You can actually choose that gang sheet. You can put that image in. You can tell it how many you want. It'll go ahead and duplicate it for you right there. That's what I like about it, Tamara. You can duplicate it right there, and it'll tell you how many, fits on that gang sheet. So if let's say you do 30, right? Let's say you do 30 images, it'll show how many images fits on there. Maybe 24 fits on there, and it'll show the other 6 images to the side. So you'll know what you got, okay? Yeah, so the reason why I do this upside down is because it's not a pullout. And at one time, I kept burning myself. So I learned how to do this upside down. It's also, for me, it's easier to have the neckline hanging off. So it's easy for me to measure. I tell you, man, it's some of the best stuff that I've learned is by messing up. Let me see. You love the prices? Website's colorful? All right, that's what I'm talking about. Give me some. I didn't do it. My wife did it. Appreciate it. That means you went to the website. Y'all see that? Lady T went to the website. She's finding what she wants. So don't hesitate to go to the website, guys. You can't break the website. But you can shop. You can pick out some things you want. Put those printers to work back there. We got other stuff that's over here as well. We got screen print transfers that are ready to ship as well. We have Rhinestone Transfers that are ready to ship. Remember, the Rhinestone Transfers are buy one, get one 50% off today. No minimum needed. Got one. I got about 6 more shirts to do, man. So, guys, you're just jumping on. This is the blank spot. We're talking about sublimation. Why is it so limited? Sublimation is limited, right? So is sublimation limited, or is it our creativity that's limited? Something to think about. Have to go, but you've been a lovely friend. Appreciate you. All the best. Thank you. Be ordering soon. Appreciate you. Look forward to processing your order. Thank you again for chiming in. You have a great and wonderful day. Sublimation, man. Is it limited, or is it our thinking and understanding about sublimation that's limited? If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm using this lint roller to get these lines out. Because this shirt is so thin, it doesn't matter. It's going to get them lines in it. So they'll wash out most likely. But that's what I'm doing. Yeah, Victoria, you don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna be here for a little while. You know, I appreciate you. Yeah, go to the website, man. Go to the website. That's where all the magic is happening. All the magic is happening on the website. We talk about, a lot of times we talk about what we don't like as the business owner or the person that's making that item. All right. That's what we talk about. Cameron, you say you rolling today? Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get this stuff done, man. We got anniversary. We have an anniversary coming up that we want to celebrate. And we want to make sure all of our I's are dotted, our T's are crossed, all of our orders are out in a timely manner. So we got to get this stuff done. But yeah, man, a lot of people who are making these items, you're the ones that's saying that you don't like white colors, you don't like this, you don't like that. But you can be creative. Even if you don't have a large heat press like the one you see back here, you can still make an all over design. You can actually press an all over shirt. Let's say you want to do some type of leopard print, some type of camouflage design. You can press that to where it looks like it is, but you have to be creative enough to do it. And you also have to be willing to make a couple of mistakes. Do me a favor, guys. Let me get a little bit of engagement. Type a number 5 in the comments if you are afraid to make a mistake. Yes, Steve, you were right. I'm back. I think this is what it's going to be, Steve. I just got to adjust my sleep schedule just to get a little bit, a little bit more. But you're absolutely right, man. I told you I was listening. I didn't get much rest last night, but money don't sleep either. So all these number 5s that's coming up, type of number 5 if you're afraid to make a mistake. Grand Rising, Vanessa. Thanks for jumping on. I'm looking for number 5s, y'all. Type of number 5 if you're afraid to make a mistake. Lady T says mistakes are necessary. Lady T said that. I didn't say that. I'm glad she said that. Because if I had said that mistakes are necessary, once again, it looks like I'm trying to sell you something. I'm just trying to tell you that you're not going to get better without making mess ups. If you're making a mistake, but you're not learning from it, then you should be afraid of making mistakes. I'll say this again. If you're making mistakes, but you're not learning anything from it, then you should be afraid to make mistakes. Once again, I've showed you guys how I'm not using any butcher paper. You know why? Because our paper doesn't require butcher paper. But if you're using a sublimation paper that does require butcher paper, and you forget to put that butcher paper on there, you're going to get that ink all on your heat press. The next time you press, you're going to have transfer on your shirt. That's a mistake. And what'd you learn? Did you learn not to forget the butcher paper? Or did you learn to go buy a paper that you don't need butcher paper? You got to think about it, man. What's the lesson learned, right? I don't mind mistakes at all. I don't mind at all. Excuse me. The mistakes are great. Conversation piece. Absolutely. Especially if you do something upside down. Not afraid to make mistakes happen. Mistakes happen every day. Absolutely. You've learned. That's what's up. So you got to think about that. Most people are not going to try new things. Most makers are not willing to try new things because, number one, let's be clear. Let's be totally transparent. Number one, many of you are not doing this for a profit. Many of you guys are doing this because it makes you feel good. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for those of you who are doing it to make a profit, you're saying, man, I can't afford to make a mistake. My money is limited. Am I touching anybody? My money is limited. My budget is limited. I can't afford to make a mistake. Does that resonate with anybody? Does anybody find that true? So let me turn you on to something. Thanks for the gift. Let me turn you on to something. And this is just a bit of advice from a business owner. If you can't afford to make a mistake, you can't afford to be doing this. Now, you might be saying, well, how dare he? You might be saying, well, how dare he say that? Telling me what to do, what I can and cannot afford. Did anybody else tell you that? See, even if you don't buy from us, even if you don't buy from us, even if you don't follow our platforms, even if you don't subscribe to our YouTube channel, even if you don't like our Facebook page, I'm going to still say the same thing, right? I'm going to say the same thing. If you can't afford to make a mistake, because mistakes will happen, then you can't afford to be doing this. And you definitely can't afford to be in business. So nobody's going to tell you that because it won't be beneficial to them. I agree. But I'm going to tell you like this, right? Mistakes are just like haters. They make you greater. They make you greater, man. And if you ain't getting better, you staying the same. And if you staying the same, you're not improving, you're not changing, you're not, you know what I'm saying? You stagnant. So yeah. Making mistakes can be scary. It can be uncomfortable. But they are necessary. They are necessary. And don't let anybody tell you that they're not. Mistakes are necessary. It can be the simplest thing that you've been doing for years. I've pressed hundreds of shirts. And it still makes me mad when I press one upside down. Y'all like elevating? Because if you don't like elevating, that means you're gonna stay on the ground. I'll press a shirt upside down in a minute. I remember, and some of y'all might remember who's been following us for a while. I pressed the shirt upside down and I wore it live. And of course, it became a conversation piece. I'm not just talking about making a tumbler upside down or tearing the shirt or ripping the shirt or the transfer off. The same. Yeah. I mean, so things happen. You're human. But you won't learn unless you make some mistakes. And if you're not ready to make some mistakes, then maybe the next time you come on here, you'll be ready to do something. But, yeah, everything is content. That's just my 2 cents, man. Everybody's gonna feel a different way or want to do a different thing, and that's cool. But I mean, we're human. Mistakes will be made. Don't let that stop you from getting what you're supposed to be doing. You remember that live? Designs That Speaks. I remember that live. Yeah. See, truth hurts, but mistakes help to improve. Absolutely. That's why TBS is different from anywhere else that you shop. From honesty. I appreciate that. Yeah. Honesty can also be a downfall. If you're too honest to someone who's looking for embellishment, should I say? The truth is a tricky thing, and not everybody's equipped to handle the truth. Truth is always on my menu to share, and I realize that truth is not always on everybody's menu to order. However, we are a small business owner, small business owners, and we stay in business by coming on here, and we stay in business by getting new customers and keeping current customers. That's how we stay in business. As uncomfortable as it may seem sometimes, us getting on live, as uncomfortable as some of the conversations may get sometimes, in this day and age, this is a requirement for us to do to build our business. So what I ask you guys is this, that you consider going to the website. A couple of things going on, okay? Give me a second. I gotta let the thing gas out. It's real light pressure. Look at that ink release. So let me take care of this, and I'll finish with my little spiel. So, like I was saying, guys, we're small business owners. And the way that we stay in business, is that people have to shop with us. We're not asking for donations, although if you're on our live and you decide to give us some gifts, we appreciate it, all right? We're not asking for GoFundMes. We're not asking you to cash app us anything. We're asking that you go to our website, look and see if we got some products and some services that you might be interested in. From our classes that we do have classes that are available. They're broken down to individual classes. We have a couple of ebooks that we created that are available. We even have a business membership that's only $26.26 a month. It's a month-to-month membership that we meet every Tuesday on a Zoom call. All right. But with all that, we have the products that you need to either start your business or to keep your business going. Okay. From heat presses to printers to sublimation transfers, screen print transfers, to chenille patches, rhinestone transfers. Guys, we got a lot of different things that you can actually get to start or keep your business going. We're not asking for a handout. All we're asking for is if you show up on our live, if you show up or see one of our replays, or if you see one of our reels and you see something that you want, go ahead and take that chance on us. It's just as if you would take a chance on any other company. Okay. We're here right now, face to face. There's not going to be a lot of people that you're buying from that's going to be face to face. I have no problems answering questions, but I would prefer to answer your question as a customer, but not as a potential customer. Now, that may not sound inviting to a lot of people. You know, you get people say, hey, you know what? I just want to have all my questions answered before, I make a purchase. You bought a house and you didn't get all your questions answered. That's a real life decision. You bought a car and you didn't get all your questions answered. That's a real life decision. You even went to a department store and you bought a whole outfit, got home, and it didn't fit the way it looked on the mannequin. But you're saying that, hey, you got to know everything before you make a decision. That's not true. All you have to know is that we're a small business owner. We have a great product. We have great services. You go ahead and try it out. If it doesn't work out for you, if it doesn't do what you want it to do, then that's the cost of doing business. That's the real honest answer. From our sublimation t-shirts to our sublimation paper, sublimation ink, we got so many different things. Our starter kits, thank you, Tamara. We have mystery sublimation mystery boxes, lots of different things that you can actually go out and get. Okay, if you're new to sublimation, try one of our mystery boxes. Okay. You're asking, yes, our paper is compatible with all ink. All ink, okay? But our ink is only compatible to Epson desktop printers, all right? So that's what I wanted to tell y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for jumping on. I know y'all could have been anywhere else, but you decided to see what was going on with us, and I appreciate it. Stevie, you were right, 10:30. I probably need to be back on. No, I need to be back on here advertising at 10:30. Just got to get my schedule together. But thank y'all for coming on. I appreciate it. Like I always say, hey, Lamar's, like I always say, guys, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. Once again, make a minimum purchase of $20 before taxes. We're going to give you 20 free sheets. It's an economy pack of our 8.5 by 11 sublimation paper. What size press am I using right now? That's a 15 by 15. That's a 15 by 15. We got a couple of these in the back as well, but it's a 15 by 15. Nothing special, not a pull out, just a regular 15 by 15. All right. You're welcome. Thank you. I'll see everybody at the top because there's too many people struggling at the bottom. Peace.